1990, Elizabeth Newton, a Ph.D. candidate at Stanford University, conducted a study to see how people's confidence in their communication differed from reality. In the study, participants were divided into two groups, tappers and listeners. Each tapper was partnered up with a listener. Tappers were told to pick a well-known song such as Happy Birthday, the Beach Boys' Good Vibrations, or Row, Row, Row Your Boat, and tap out the rhythm on the table, a section of the song that would be easily recognizable. Tappers were asked to predict how often the listeners would be able to guess the song. The tappers were confident and expected the listeners would recognize the well-known song at least half of the time. The listeners were asked to guess the name of the song. Of the 120 times popular songs were tapped out, the listeners only guessed 3 songs correctly. They only got it right just 2.5% of the time. Why were the tappers so bad at predicting how often a listener would pick the correct song? The problem was that the tappers could hear the melody in their head, but the listeners could not. The listeners only had one source of input, finger tapping. The tappers' knowledge of the song playing in their head caused them to miscalculate the listener's comprehension. This is an example of the concept called the curse of knowledge. The more familiar you are with something, the harder it is to put yourself in the shoes of someone who is not familiar with it. You perceive they get it because it seems so simple and straightforward to you, but not to your listener. To avoid this, ask yourself, what do I know to understand this? Does the person or group I'm communicating with also know this? If the answer is no, or you are unsure, fill in the possible confusion with clarity. In this example, if people would have been able to hear the music, the communication rate would be near 100% rather than 2.5%. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit like and subscribe for more videos like this.